Hello family, this is your friend Kenisha. Welcome to another episode of Transformation Tuesday, and we are on episode number 8. Remember, our word transform is to make a thorough or radical change and form character or appearance. And then when we break the word transform down, trans represents, our acronym is taking real people and navigating towards success. And then we have said that form represents forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. So last week, it was a wonderful episode. We talked about tempted to compromise, and we asked ourselves that question. And then we used Whitney Houston as an example of someone who did compromise, and it was unfortunate because it happened to her demise and she's no longer here. And then we talked about, on the contrary, we talked about Martin Luther King Jr., who held a positive conviction, which was that of nonviolence. And so then I'm going to read to you what we said the definition of compromise was. It was to accept standards that are lower than is desirable, or to bring into disrepute or danger by indiscreet, foolish, or reckless behavior. So we want to make sure, again, that we are people of character and that we do not compromise our convictions. And so our thought for today, it brings me now to virtue. And let me read to you what the word virtue means. It means this: behavior showing high moral standards, or a quality considered morally good or desirable in a person. So I think about Jessica Simpson, and we know that she's famous, and here she's an example of a person with virtue. And I'm going to read to you a quote that Jessica said that really touched my heart. It says that my virginity is something I stand strong in. That's what Jessica Simpson said. Her then boyfriend, now it's her ex-husband, unfortunately, Nick says he chimed in and admitted, it's not always easy, but I do respect it. And it says this, that Jessica Simpson has the best message for people thinking about waiting until marriage. She said virginity can be cool and sexy. She said in an interview with People in 2000, Simpson has never been shy about her reason for staying absent until marriage. So she is an example of virtue. I mean, making a good choice, having a high moral standard on purpose. And so then now I go to our thought of valuing virtue. And then virtue is an inside job. So we'll be going from our book that we've been using for the last couple of weeks, which I love, Next Generation Leader by Andy Stanley. And it's just a wonderful book. And then I think about the story of Mahatma Gandhi. But before I tell you that, let's read on page 138. It says, what if you knew you could break the rules? I would eat ice cream all day long. Do you hear me? All day long. If I knew I would not gain weight. It says change the rules or even ignore them and get away with it. Think on that. What if you knew there would never be any consequences financially or physically? Then what would you do? Leading with character is not about doing right to avoid consequences. Leaders worth following do the right thing because it is the right thing. Here's where our title for today comes from. Value is not a means to an end. It is the end. So I think about Mahatma Gandhi, and here's some statistics about Mahatma. It says that he was an Indian lawyer, and he was anti-colonial nationalist, a political ethicist who employed nonviolent resistance. And it says that he was charismatic personality, and he was known as this, simply being charming. And then I want us to think about this. What are some character strengths that we can think of? And this is by Christopher Peterson. And one I'm going to focus on, it's called moderation. It's thoughts of modesty and control. Are you a person that values modesty, control, and discipline? Remember, we lead from the inside out. And our question and our thought is, what behaviors must you implement to demonstrate your value for virtue? Remember, we change the inside. And then when our insides change, everyone will know on the outside, whether we say it or not. This is your friend Kenisha. I want us to value virtue so we can change this world. Love you. See you later.